welcome back to Aussie Wristwatch. It's been a long minute, I know. What have I been up to this year? I have been working. Yes, I went back to corporate work, and so that just kept me a little occupied and very much away from doing YouTube videos. But I'm on holidays now, and it's almost Christmas, so I thought, hey, why not do a video? And I have just the video for you because I got a new watch. I got a few new watches this year, but this is the most recent purchase and probably one of the most exciting, even though they're all exciting because they're all my babies. I got a Tudor, would you believe? Yes, that is right. Jessica Liley, Aussie Wristwatch, is going to eat her words because I recall being an ignorant, very fresh, very new YouTuber to potentially, in fact, I'm pretty sure I definitely said, Tudor is a poor man's Rolex. So wrong. Absolutely, totally off base, incorrect, shouldn't have said it. No idea what I'm talking about. Totally wrong. And it's not just because I just bought one. Well, kind of is in the sense that I've learned a lot more about watches. I've learned a lot more about Tudor itself as a brand and what they do and stand for. Yeah, I'm just more informed. Anyway, I love military watches, as some of you will know if you follow. It's why Panerai is my favorite brand. I know the hardcore people watching this channel right now are going, hang on a minute. She said Tudor was a poor man's Rolex, but Panerai is her favorite brand. Yeah, I know. It's all good. Relax. Stick with me here. I got the Tudor Pelagos FXD GMT Zulu time. What is Zulu time, by the way? Well, other than remembering distinctly when I used to watch Jag as a child, yes, you're going to realize how old I am right now. Loved that show, by the way. Did you know, just as an aside, that Jag was the original show in the whole NCIS universe? Same creator, Dom P. Belisario. I'm sure there was someone else who created it with him, but I've forgotten who that is. That is where it all started with Jag. Anyway, Jag used to always have like the little super that would come up, you know, so it would say 1000 Zulu time, Pacific Ocean, wherever they were in the world. And I always used to watch that show and go, what is Zulu time? Turns out it's kind of the same thing as GMT, to be exact. And I had to look it up again and refresh my memory, so bear with me. It's Universal Coordinated Time, Zulu time that is. But as far as I can understand it, and someone can correct me if I am wrong, GMT, Universal Coordinated Time, Zulu time, all the same thing. So the new Pelagos, whatever, however you want to describe it, created for the Marine Nationale, which is the French military navy, and it's the aviation arm, to be more specific, hence the Zulu time. Now, so it's not a dive watch, aviation watch. The reason I love this watch even more, beyond all that, is because A, I always wanted to join the Navy, never did. A whole long story around that. Still love the Navy, still would love to join, even though I'm too old, have asthma and all this other crap. Love the Navy, love Top Gun, obviously. I just told you I used to watch Jag, so anything that was military adjacent, related, whatever, I was all over it as a kid. I was a Navy cadet, Top Gun, I wanted to be a naval aviator. I mean, who didn't? Anyway, then I realized you had to be really good at mathematics, engineering, physics, those kind of subjects. Not my jam, so there went that dream. This is the closest I'm ever going to get. So I love military watches. Anything with a military fare, like the Hamilton Khaki Field Watch. I've got one of those, love it. This is very much in that vein style, if you want to call it that. But this thing is all class. Okay, so the watch specifications for this beauty are, it's a 42mm titanium case, it's satin brush finished with fixed strap bars and the lugs are 22mm. Case thickness is 12.7mm, so it's quite thick, but it's not a hunker chunker, so to speak. If you don't like fixed lugs, you're not going to like this watch, not going to lie. I don't mind. For the type of watch this is, the purpose of which this watch is for, the kind of strap that you use it, fixed lugs, totally fine for me. In fact, it adds to the robustness of the watch. But I know some people have a very distinct view on that. Don't like it at all. Not the watch for you. Movement. Okay. Manufacturer caliber MT5652U. It's Coscometer certified. So it's the gimmick. It's the double certification, which, hey, I'm fine with that. Just means it's even more robust. Self-winding mechanical movement with bidirectional rotor system, integrated GMT function. Now, the purpose of this watch is to tell the local time, the Zulu time, and in fact, you can tell a third time by moving the bidirectional dial. I'm still trying to figure out how to do that. The guy in the shop showed me, to his credit, but of course, I'm like a kid in a candy store, half paying attention because I'm just more excited about getting the watch. 100 meters. So again, it's not a dive watch, but I mean, if you crash the plane in the military, it's going to be fine when you splash into the ocean. God, I hope no one crashes their plane. Dial's matte black, hour markers painted beige. This is where this watch shines. The beige on the black with the orange GMT hand really make this watch pop. It makes it pretty in a robust, you know, military kind of way. Fabric strap. The creme de la creme of this is you've got a titanium buckle, but you've also got this little beauty. What is it you say? Well, it's the military logo for the French naval aviation. And it's kind of part of the joy and the gem of this watch, right? It's so silly because it's so gimmicky, but it really does complete the watch when you've got it on. I know a lot of my friends, we've all kind of fallen in love with this, and a few of us have got this all in a few weeks of each other as they work their way down their list of supply and demand at the store. And they've put it on a different strap, which it looks good. Yeah, sure. But it's not, for me, it's not quite the same. Like, I really love the whole package of this watch. And I mean, it seems so ridiculous to say that with just like this fabric strap, but it makes the watch for me. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I mean, it does make me laugh because I've totally done an about face on Tudor. I've kind of fallen in love with the brand a little bit. You get so much bang for your buck with this brand. This brand is, they've stayed true to what their original intent was with Hans Wilsdorf. 1926, so early 1900s, not quite early, but early enough. None of us were around. The whole point of this, in simple terms, was high quality, manufactured Swiss timepieces at an affordable price for the every man. I say every man because, well, let's face it, back in those days, it was most likely the gents. But for every person now, they've stayed true to that. They create high quality watches, Swiss movement, Swiss made, robust, they've kept their own style, and they make them affordable. There's so much bang for your buck with these watches. I think that's why I've definitely come around. Like, I love Rolex, I love Omega, absolutely love Panerai, but they're like different because they're just totally different watches, right? But if you think about Omega, like for one thing, as much as I love that brand, what are they doing at the moment? There's so many different models coming out. They're all over the shop. There's a special edition of this and a special edition of that. I'm guys, do you have a strategy? Rolex has its own issues, as we're all well aware of. You know, Tudor's still kind of churning out these quality watches that are understated for the most part, but kind of speak to a particular audience of people who love, sure, maybe they love a Rolex and kind of want a Rolex but can't get one, so they're going to get a Tudor. Fine, you're going to get that audience. That's cool. It's totally fine. Not judging that at all. Then you've got this whole separate fanboy, fangirl, fan people out there who just love Tudor for Tudor. And it's because of that. It's because they're making these really great timepieces, really high quality, at this price point that no one else can seem to compete with. I mean, you kind of can look at like a Bremont, for example, but they're not really competing. You know, they're not really on the same level, but from a price point perspective, they are. And there's many other examples of which, you know, I think about Breitling, I love that brand, but they've priced themselves out of the market somewhat with a lot of their watches. you know, and someone jump on me and have a crack about that, whatever. You know, this whole channel is for me to learn. This is me admitting I was wrong with something because I've learned something. You know, so Tudor kind of like staying true to that. You know, sure, between 5 and call it 8,000 is kind of their sweet spot for prices, I guess. I'm talking Australian dollars, so you know, plain money. So this watch was, from memory, ooh, I'm gonna get this wrong now because I don't have it in front of me. I was in their store yesterday. I was looking at a couple of their other like Black Bays, and they were like 5-7, but this was definitely in the six bracket. But still 6, don't get me wrong, still a lot of money. Yes, I get it. But it's not 15. Or even, what is it, 8 or 9 now for a Speedmaster. Now I know I'm not comparing apples with apples, but well, the Seamasters are even more outrageous. Like I bought a Seamaster 2016 and I swear it was about 10, and now it's almost, I think, pushing 15 or 16. Like that's outrageous. I get inflation and everything, don't get me wrong, I'm not a complete idiot, but it's still like a significant amount of money for a watch like that. So I think these guys are still doing a really good job at staying true to their whole ethos and their whole business model, and that's to be applauded. And doing it since 1926, I mean, far out, that's pretty significant. But this watch speaks to me purely from a aesthetic point of view. It looks amazing. I love its functionality. I love the whole military connection to it because, again, as I said at the start, like I don't know why, I just live for the military. I love it. And so this watch, as soon as I saw it launch, I think it was just over a month ago or something, maybe in November-ish. And I saw it, and my wife saw it too, and she's like, have you seen that new Tudor, like that? She goes, you're going to love this watch. And she shows it to me, and I'm like, yeah, I saw it the other day, and I was like, oh, I kind of love that watch. And so then we went to the store, and funnily enough, I'm a member of this really awesome watch club in Sydney. And then there's a broader community of we call ourselves watch geeks. It's a great community, and we all get together and we go to different events or we have dinners, whatever. And so we'd been to Watch Fest Sydney, and we decided, you know, after we'd finished sort of doing that, we'd wander off to the store, and we're like, oh, let's go to Tudor and let's check out the new Pelagos FDX. And we walk in the store, and there's a whole bunch of our mates who've just been to Watch Fest too. And one of our mates, I don't want to say his name in case he doesn't want it shared online. He's a huge Tudor fan, and he has an FTX collection that, I mean, it's extraordinary. I'll just put it that way. And so he's in there trying this very watch on, and I'm like, oh no, he's going to buy it. He did. So like, anyway, I tried it on. I was like, oh, I love this watch. It's amazing. But at least I got to sort of sleep on it for a few weeks. I put my name down. And again, you know, you put your name down. It's not a question of, well, we deem you worthy. We'll ring you when we're well and ready. We'll ring you when one comes in. So anyway, a couple of weeks later, I get this call from the Tudor store in Sydney. One on King Street. Can't recommend them enough. They're lovely. And anyway, they're like, oh, so the watch is in. Would you like to come in and have a look at it? And I was like, yes, I'd like to come in and I'd like to look at it and I'd like to buy it, please. I was interstate for work. I'm like, oh my God, I can't get there for 3 days. And they're like, no worries. Anyway, I go in, I get it, love it. So I've had it now maybe 3 weeks. And the only time I haven't worn it is, we went to the Omega store yesterday, so I wore my Omega. And a couple of times when I've been at work in the office in more business attire rather. But when I've had casual days in the office, I've worn this watch. So yeah, I'm in love with this watch right now. It's probably going to be my standout over summer, except when I'm actually at the beach and swimming, and I'll probably wear the Breitling Endurance Pro, or I've got a couple of really cool Borzels that are dive watches. So they're made for the ocean. But yeah, this kind of screams to me to watch like the Hamilton car key, which is a classic. It's almost like the OG of tour watches, right? Military field slash tool, whatever you want to call it, love. And I love them. And they're so plain in a sense, but that's the charm of them, right? Like they serve their purpose in the most robust and simplest of fashions. And this just kind of takes it up a notch. And yeah, I think they've done an outstanding job with this watch, and I would recommend it to anyone who's considering it and has been eyeing it off. I'm loving it. You may love it too. I guess I've waffled on more than enough, unscripted. It's nice to be back. I wish everyone a very safe, happy, festive, or happy holidays, festive season, whatever your inclination, denomination, religious affiliation is. Everyone stay safe, have an awesome time. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See you later.